it is time for my favorite segment of the show. Welcome back to Fun with Fountain Pens.
Here's a house. Here's a door. Windows 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready to knock? Turn the lock.
10 school. Okay, guys, I have a great pen for you today. It is called the Moonman B25. Now, Moonman are a Chinese pen manufacturer, and they're kind of like, most people think of them as a step up from the Jinhao. And the reason for that is that they make some pens that are a little bit more maybe mid-market, and they go quite up. You know, you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on some of their higher-end pens. The other thing is you will recall that I have reviewed at least one other of their pens. I reviewed their copy of a Mont Blanc Meisterstück 146, which was just such a great homage to the original Mont Blanc that I really, really rated it. They do some inexpensive pens as well, including this. This is the Moonman B25. And why I picked it up, it only cost me $10 on AliExpress. And I do get a little bit of grief from people because there are a bunch of people out there who do like metal pens. I'm not one of them. It's just a matter of preference. There's nothing wrong with metal pens, but it's just not a material that I enjoy. I prefer plastics, acrylics, even natural materials like wood. And part of the reason is with a metal pen is that they can just get a little bit slippery when you're using them for long periods from the moisture on your hand. Conversely, a pen which is metal is a lot more hard wearing. So you find that men who want to keep a pen in their breast pocket might be inclined to a metal pen as long as it's not too heavy, or a woman who keeps other things in her handbag might be inclined to have a nice metal pen. And this is one such pen. It is actually rather similar. It reminds me a lot of the Lamy. This is a Lamy Studio, which is a very, very popular metal pen from Lamy. I'm not sure if I've reviewed this before. Maybe I will, but it seems like this might be inspired by it. Now, just to have a quick look at the Lamys, my favorite everyday carry is, of course, the Lamy 2000. All right, this is the pen that I pretty much always have on me. It is made from a fiberglass called Macrolon, and it has kind of like a burnished metal grip. All right, so that's pretty much the only pen I have. It's called the section, but this metal part here. All right, and the reason I don't mind it is because I tend to brace the pen a little bit further back. But if you have a look at the Lamy, in comparison, the Lamy Studio rather, it's kind of like the inverse. It's metal with a rubber section. All right, and that is why I own this pen. It is quite cool like that. Now, coming to the B25, it is similar to the Lamy. The Lamy has a snap-on cap, which is great for note-taking. You don't have to unscrew it or anything like that. So does this pen, although the snap is actually a little bit further, and it also has a shoulderless nib, you can see there, which is kind of is very, very common on Lamy pens. It also has a nice rubber grip. This pen for $10 is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I have it as a fine, which, as you know, doesn't suit my handwriting, but it is lovely and smooth. It is a fantastic writer. There is just a little bit of flex in the nib, as much as you would probably want in a fine nib. I think it's really cool. What I don't like so much about this pen is it has a piston filler mechanism. Not a piston filler, a cartridge converter, as you can see here. But one thing that some manufacturers do, is they put a little spring inside where the ink is. Now, the purpose of that is it stops ink from clogging inside your pen, and it is actually pretty useful. It does make cleaning your pen a lot easier, and it's lovely. If you're someone who leaves a pen for a long time unattended, it is probably worth having. But what I don't like about it is you can feel the spring moving about inside the pen. And to me, my natural inclination is, oh, something's gone loose inside the mechanism of my pen. I don't like to feel something moving around. Although I must say, holding it in my hand right now, I can't feel it at all, and it's because it is so full of ink. All right, this is a lovely pen for $10 if you like metal pens. The Moonman B25, which to my mind looks like a pen inspired by Lamy Studio, is well recommended. All right, on to the ink. As you guys know, I am very, very fond of Iroshizuku inks. The thing is with them is that they are very, very expensive. They go for about $1 a milliliter. Now, the big bottles of this, 50 ml, cost you $50-$60, which means that these little 15 ml bottles are worth testing to see if you like an ink before you actually make the commitment and buy the full-sized bottle. With that said, a 50 ml bottle of ink will last you a long, long time. It'll last years and years and years. This 15 ml from me in my ink collection, I will still have this in my collection 10 years from now because I use it so infrequently. But I am probably going to buy a bottle of this. Now, you probably can't tell on the page because it's quite light, but this is a wonderful grey ink. It is so cool. I actually did a blotch test earlier to kind of show you what the color is like. It is this wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, subtle gray. And just in case you can't see that very well, I've got a picture of it. Yeah, here's a picture. Oops, of the ink. Let me move that over so you can see it a little bit better. You can see how this ink is just this nice subtle gray, but it also has a lot of shading inside it. One of my standard recommendations, I tell people, look, in a business context, you need to be conservative in your ink colors. The safe ink colors to use are blue, black, blue, black, and maybe green. I'm actually going to change that. This gray, the subtle gray, is absolutely beautiful, and I think you could actually get away with it in a business context. You could use this ink for doing greeting cards, for your personal correspondence, but I actually think that I would at least try to get away with using this ink in a business context at work. All right, guys, so that is the pen and ink for today. We have the Moonman B25 and the Iroshizuku Kiri-same ink. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'm going to play a little bit more music and come back to you with a few more articles. We have half an hour to go. You are watching SimonTV.